Marcus Wesson, The Darkside of a Virgo. Who gets Darkside if I didn't tell you all about a serial killer? So, this serial killer's name is the Happy Face Killer. Marcus Wesson, born 1946, August 22nd. He was born in Kansas City. He had 11 kids. He was charged with 14 counts of sexual crimes and 9 counts of first degree. His mother was heavy into being a Seventh-day Adventist. Seventh-day Adventists, it's like a Baptist except their holy day is on Saturday. They believe in Jesus and they believe in the Bible. Like I said, their holy day is just Saturday instead of Sunday. A bit more okayness of polyamorous lifestyle. I believe this is where his misunderstanding of the religion came into play. I believe he took this religion in this form of him being the man, the king, the rebirth of Jesus a little too far. He started practicing molestation and incest with his children. He would start off by touching the girl's breast when they're 13, and they became 15, he'd marry. He only had one official wife, but he'd marry his children. This is how dark this Virgo went. The boys, he would pander them out to work, and when the boys got to a certain age, he would kick them out and tell them that they had to pay into the household. His dad was a military vet who liked to molest children. His children said he gets real huggy and friendly when he starts drinking. He had left the family for almost a decade, messing with a nephew of his. They say the things you do to your kids come back around. Marcus Wesson was molested. In his free time, he took up being a preacher, or wanted to be a preacher. And he would lead the congregation, the flock. And he just loved how he was the center of attention. One time, he met a woman named Rosemary. She had 7 to 8 kids already. She gave him a kid, and he fell in love with her 8-year-old daughter. Said that's who God proclaimed that he should be with. I guess he imprinted. She gave him her blessing, allowed the 8-year-old to marry this grown man. But when she became 15, they got married for real. And a month later, she gave birth to his first child, their first child. Marcus Wesson, Part 2. By this time, he has grown agitated, irritated. He now beats his kids with objects that would cause Marcus tremendous pain. If it's not sticks and belts, it's TV cords. So his kids are forced to wear scarves so they can cover up the mark received from their father when he feels that they're not doing what he wants them to do. Also at this time, he begins to take on a role as if he's king. And this incest that he has jumped into so frivolously, so effortlessly, so tremendously. He feels that incest brings the best seed out of him. So Elizabeth, his wife, now has 3 kids at the time. She had 2 boys and a girl. Kalani is the oldest girl. That he was beating them for respect, for fear. When the boys got of age and they started looking at Elizabeth like she could be their girlfriend or their next lover, he would tell them things like, get your own woman, move out, be on your own. As time goes on, he gets more kids. And he's having sex with more of his own kids, and they're having siblings. This is a sick individual, y'all. But not just that. Once he gets to the point where he doesn't want to work anymore, he has twisted this 7-day Adventist into a cult, basically. So as the kids get older, some rebel and some don't. Most don't, but Kalani did. around the time she was 17 or 18, she tried to run away. She was working in the public world, and they were showing her things that she didn't see living in her concluded tent. Bonnie, the second time she tried to run away was because she felt like there was no end to this man's madness. She finally realized that he was wrong for raping them, having sex with them, and and raising kids that was incestful. The third time she ran away, she found a guy that accepted her for who she was. And he put in her head that she didn't have to live like that no more. So as she went to get her children back from Marcus and Elizabeth, the other children began to fight her. Two of her other siblings were on her side trying to get their children back. And Marcus was in a back room with Elizabeth and 7 children. 2 of which were Kalani, ages 12 all the way down to 8. They called the police trying to get the children back. And upon arrival from the police, Marcus Wesson locked the door and you heard 9 gunshots. 9. He told the police when he opened the door that they felt like dying was more important than breaking up the family. He was later charged with 9 counts of manslaughter. They say he shot all 9 people, 8 children and 1 wife. 8 children. They say he did it for 2 reasons. 1, because he didn't want to allow his kids to leave. 2, because he wanted to cover up the incest and all the sexual acts that he was doing to these people. But he was later found guilty of 9 counts of murder and 14 counts of sexual crime. Hey, if you've never seen the Darkside of Virgo, this is him. Peace.